Hey everybody, Onepeg here with another newsy news update. Hope you all have had a great weekend. Sorry for the lack of uploads, but had a couple of things going on at home, and now we're here. But hey, at least I put up that Tarkov sea shanty yesterday. We have patch notes for 12.9.1109 something. I can't even keep track anymore. I know it's not 12.9.2. I just get lost with this stuff. I know it's not 12.10. It's not 12.10, boys. All right. But my boy, Shiro Tenchi posted some patch notes on the BSG boards, and I'm just going to kind of go down through them, and we'll see if anything's any good. Okay? All right. Now, in addition to this, was a change that was made to how ADS speed works as it pertains to player weight. So it used to be, regardless of weight, you could ADS at whatever speed you want. That was changed to now only allow you to ADS at full speed when you're at green weight, and then it's reduced at yellow weight and even further reduced to like 1/3 or less of the speed if you're at red weight. Now, the only reason why I'm bringing this up is for a while today, that was the case. Like there was, like 4 or 5 hours where that ADS was affected by how heavy you weighed. But that has since been rolled back. So I was going to show all of this footage and stuff about how weird this was, but now I don't have to. So much for content. Maybe later. Who knows? And for changes that came from today's patch that were not as overt, we also have some changes to thermals and some changes to suppressors. The Reap, the Fleer, the Vulcan, and the NSPU all had their ergonomics penalties reduced. So instead of it being 13, 11, 15, and 20 negative respectively, depending on which one you're looking at, it's now the Reap is -9, the Fleer is -7, the Vulcan is -13, and the NSPU is -18. So those have been improved ever so slightly. Then on to suppressors, the PBS for 7.62 and for 5.45 by 39 were improved on recoil reduction from 10.5 to 12 and from 8 to 10 for both of the PBS suppressors. For the TGPA 545 by 39, the one that kind of looks like a little pipe bomb, that one was also improved by 1% from 9.5 to 10.5. Also, before I forget, like 3 days ago, there was also a slight penetration change to RIP rounds and Superformance slugs. RIP rounds had their penetration change from 0 to 2, and the Superformance round had the slug penetration changed from 2 to 5. Both of which of these are completely worthless statistics and can't penetrate paper mache. So I don't know exactly what's going on there, why they increased it. I guess maybe we'll find out later. Okay, anyway, on to the patch notes. And I'm just going to, like I always do, just going to quick scan, and if anything catches my eye, I'll try and give you a little bit of input or whatever. Up first, the next button, which wouldn't let players get to the main menu after a raid. We have our next button lag. That was fixed. This is true. All day today, the 6 hours worth of time I spent streaming earlier today, every single raid end, I got right through that next screen. However, instead of now waiting for the next screen to move us ahead, we instead now get this strange buggy heal screen that looks like this. Now, this was after I committed meme seppuku and threw a VOG-25 nade at my own feet, ending my raid in style. But on this screen, you can see that there's a very clear loading element here, and it also looks like it's pulling something from one of the file folders inside of the game's files. Also, if you notice, there's this descriptor text at the top that's all in Russian. It's not in English. Now, if you wait like 10 seconds or so, this clears. However, if you are one of those impatient fellas that thinks that something weird is going on and you hit the back button and then hit next to move past it, like you hit back to go back a menu, and then you hit next to go back to this heal menu, it no longer exists. It just sends you off into like the main menu. So instead of having this delay on the next screen, we now have this delay with the healing screen. It is a lot shorter than the other screen was. An animation of checking the chamber, which was played for the observer if the player checked the mode of fire. So this is a bug that has been around since, I think, the beginning of 12.9, maybe longer. If you were observing somebody else checking their mode of fire, which is supposed to, at least in the first-person sense, they just pull the gun up and kind of look at the side to see where the selector switch is at, and then it'll tell you if it's in full auto or not. The third-person perspective, me watching somebody else doing it, would look like they're doing a chamber check, and it would have the sound associated with it. So you would hear somebody kind of like racking the bolt back to like look in the chamber and then sliding it back into position, even though they were just doing a fire mode check. So I'm glad this is fixed, because this was causing a lot of like giveaways. Drop in performance in areas with multiple crafts in the hideout. So apparently there was a bug where if there was multiple hideout crafts going at the same time, there was a drop in performance in certain places. That's interesting. Increased speed of movement in the crouch position in some conditions. So depending on how you're crouched, I wonder what those conditions are. We'll have to test them at some point and see what they mean by this. Increased speed of movement in the crouch position during some conditions. Crafting skill points progress, which were not gained until the restart of the game. We looked at that one. That one was a couple of videos ago, right? No sounds of footsteps on metal stairs while moving sideways. So there was an old bug where if you strafed to the right, moving up and down stairs, it never made any sound. You would see people like kind of like jabbing at their D key, just kind of like stutter stepping to the right, moving up the stairs, and it never made a sound. So thankfully that's been fixed. The progress of the skill mag drills that was being reset after leaving a raid, so we can level mag drills again. That's kind of nice. Incorrect calculation of the selling price and commission for the cultist knife. Highlighting the option to report a player on mouse over, so quality of life thing. The simultaneous play of multiple lines in the voice selection screen. So I wonder if this is one of those things that has been eliminated that TIG used to do. There was a thing where you could kind of like stop a voice line once it had been started and kind of like meme with it a little bit after you had gotten your skill to a high enough level. So I'm wondering if now that was just a bug all along and they've now disabled the ability to do that. So it looks like we have some more collision fixes, culling fixes, interface bug fixes, localization edits for people's localization languages, and various errors in server performance. They've also stated that there is server optimization iteration number 2 and client optimizations. So I suppose we'll see what happens. There was also mention here about problems with spawning bots and players. So I don't know if that has anything to do with making sure that players kind of spawn further away from each other than they used to do. And, you know, maybe we're not 30 or 40 meters away from each other anymore, so people on reserve don't just get clapped 3 seconds into a raid. But I guess we'll see. Oh, and there was another note here about bots flying in the air. So that one was kind of funny. There's clips of people seeing like scavs like walking through the sky because they, for whatever reason, the server couldn't figure out where to like plant the scavs' feet. So that's good, I guess. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I hope you guys find the content valuable to you. And I'll see you on stream tomorrow morning, and I will see you in the next video otherwise. Peace.
Soon will the hacker man come to take our loot and end our run. One day when the cheating is done, we might give labs a go.